right, great to have the bye week. Hopefully, we'll start to get some guys back and get a little healthier. But we got some stuff done last week. We get a jump on this week. Playing a really good team in San Jose State, an athletic, physical team. Obviously, they're a defending conference champion with everybody back. Defense, we've got some excellent defensive linemen. Really good linebacker, really good safety. Offensively, both quarterbacks are talented guys. Obviously, one's a little bit more of a thrower, one's a little bit more of a runner, but they're talented guys. I don't know who we're going to get there. But this is a talented football team. That's why they won the conference last year. Well coached, explosive, veteran, and so we got quite a challenge ahead of us, and we got a lot of work to do this week. So happy to answer any questions.
Steve, did you get everything accomplished that you wanted to, primarily with what you wanted with the bye week, in terms of getting the right guys rest, getting some install done? Did it go the way you wanted?
Yeah, I felt good about it after Friday morning. I thought we had a really, really good workout Friday morning. I was quite pleased with that. But I thought we were sluggish today, which I was not pleased with. They've been off since Friday, 10:30, and it just goes to show you we're still not there yet in terms of learning how to be a big-time football team. I mean, you take those days off, and when you come back Monday, you come back ready to go. You don't kind of come back like in a fog. So I thought we could have been better today. We got stuff done today for sure, but this was our Tuesday, and I just don't think that we were as good as we could have been. We were really crisp on Friday and not as crisp today. So that tells me that, getting back into a week, typically Monday's our day off, and but all that's nonsense. It's all nonsense. It's all immaturity. So we need to come out tomorrow and have a great day.
It's pretty rare that you're off, when the next opponent you're playing is playing. Do you watch them live? Do you like doing that when you can, or is it all off tape? Still, how you do everything?
Yeah, I did.
Live doing it. Did you watch them live?
No, I did not. I wasn't able to find the game, and I want to watch the tape. TV copies don't do anything for me. I can't see them in person. I'd love to do that, but that's not legal. But TV copy versus the game versus the copies that we get, I want the film copy. I can watch it from both views, side view, back view. That game, and they played New Mexico State, and they chucked it all over the place, and it wasn't probably a great game for us to watch, but it's just another view at personnel.
Obviously, you haven't faced San Jose State. Does it help that they do have everyone, just from a learning them standpoint, that's basically the same team as last year, that you can watch all that tape and get a pretty good feel?
Yeah, I've watched a lot of film on these guys. I spent a long time last week studying this team. I have a good feel for them, how they play, their system of offense, system of defense, etc. Evaluation of their players. I think they're talented. I think they have a really good. They're a veteran team. They're a veteran team, and they're quite good. They're the defending league champion, and they got them all back. It speaks for itself, really. And our league is quite talented this year. That's obvious. We have a very, very good league. A lot of teams are loaded. They're because of COVID. They got a lot of repeat players back here. So I think our league is a legitimate league.
I was going to ask about that. You're one of three teams that has yet to play in a Mountain West game. What's your take on what's happened in the league? You look in your division, you've got three teams that are already 1-1.
Yeah, it's all over the place. It's throughout the league. I watched some of the Boise game, and I've watched a bunch of everybody. And I think there's a lot of parity. There's a lot of returning starters, a lot of good players in the league right now. Even on the and on the other side, watching San Diego State play, and of course San Jose, and just everybody's pretty good. That's my take.
If you look at his parity, you see like Fresno goes out and loses to Hawaii, they get knocked out of the rankings. There's no real pecking order, it looks like right now. Does that make where you're sitting 8 games to go pretty exciting?
Listen, I'm just a real big believer it's 1 week at a time around here. And it's natural to want to look at games and compare, and because I do it too. I mean, that's natural. Like I watched Iowa play Maryland. I mean, I watched, and you're just like shaking your head, but it's a dangerous thing to do that because it just seems like more now than ever, and I don't have the answer for this. Every week's a new week. You just don't know what you're going to get. And you got to be ready every week to bring it. That's what I keep telling the kids on our team. Like, you got to bring it every week. You can't rest on what happened a week ago or what you think. It just, you got to go to practice. You got to practice right. You got to prepare right. And then you got to bring it in the game. Your point, Fresno and Hawaii. I mean, Fresno's on top of the world a couple weeks ago. I don't know. I don't have the answers, but I know this. They turned the ball over a bunch. You can't do that. You do that, you got a problem. A lot of these games out there, they come out squirrely. You look and you find out they turned it over 5 times. They turned it over 6 times. I mean, you start doing stuff like that, anybody beat anybody. You turn it over enough.
You mentioned your defense is playing really well recently. Is that next step that you have to take as you start creating more turnovers? You saw with Floyd getting a pick.
I think turnovers come with confidence. I'm just hoping that we come out and play at the same level and more as we did a week ago. I'll be honest with you. We needed to get the bye week, but I'm scared to death of the bye week. Okay, because I felt like we were in a groove. We were going, and sometimes again. This is a first kind of for me here. Like, I haven't been around this team in a bye week, so I didn't love today. So I'm just hoping that we get back on track tomorrow and we get back on that groove we were on. If you had talked to me Friday after practice, I would have told you, wow, man, that was awesome. I mean, it was awesome. But I wouldn't say that today. So, again, every week's a new week. Here we go, I'm hoping, what's our hope? That we pick up and continue to grow, like on a good trajectory that we were on. But I'm not naive enough to think that with young programs like ours, trying to redo our program right now, that there's another first we just went through, a bye week. Let's see how we come out of it. Do we come out of it stronger, better, the same, or worse? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We need to play with the same intensity and with the same passion and with the same energy that we played a week ago. If we do, we'll be just fine. But that goes for everybody, not just us. And that's why you're seeing this throughout college football right now, I think. I think you're seeing a lot of roller coaster rides. I don't know. Why all of a sudden? What's different this year? I don't know. I think a lot of guys have been on rosters a long time. I think, if you're just being evaluative, I don't know. Who knows? Been an odd year and a half, whatever.
Hey, Steve, you mentioned the strength of the San Jose State defense. It seems like they're kind of similar to you, just in the sense that they have a really strong front seven. Is that kind of a strength for your offense going into this week, that they get to play, similar talent in that front seven as they prepare for this matchup?
I mean, we're used to playing against. We've played the last 2 weeks, I would say, outstanding defensive front sevens. Obviously, Iowa is one of the very finest in the country, but don't sleep on Toledo's defensive front seven. I told you that before. That was as any good as any mid-tier Power 5 front seven. So we've been in those battles on offense, for sure. And we're going to be in one again, for sure. This is a good defensive front. They're a veteran, they're big, they're physical, they're active. You're talking about the conference player of the year in there. You're talking about a couple all-conference guys. I mean, this is a talented defensive front. When you find these defensive teams that are these good on defense, usually those programs have been successful, right? Like San Jose was highly successful last year. You can see why. And then they have some explosive playmakers and quarterback, that's explosive guy. So it's not the great mystery, but we're going to see another good defense. Yep, for sure. Big. Yep.
You're talking about kind of maintaining the kind of level you were at. Is a lot of that, the player-led type of thing you're looking for? Because obviously everyone can get up to play at Iowa. Is it a thing that needs to be player-led to get up every single week like that?
Yeah, I don't think this is about, honestly, like, I don't think it's because, like, oh, we were at Iowa or whatever. I just think it's got to do with when you're firing as a program every week, you bring in your A game. Who you play, where you play, it just doesn't matter. You don't ride roller coasters. You know, we have an interesting team, right? We have a group of, we've got some older guys, and we've got a lot of younger guys. Not a lot of middle ground. And so that's a byproduct of all that. We'll get there. We'll just keep, you know, this is all part of the process. It's all part of the growing. And, you know, learning how to sustain it each week, learning how not to ride those roller coasters. I mean, you know, you're going to have bad days. Bad days happen. I mean, the good news is I thought we did a great job last week, and I thought Friday was one of our very finest practices. So that's all good news. You know, you'd say, well, we weren't even playing on Saturday, and we saw that. So that's good. I just thought today we're sluggish. I think we came off of 2 days off, and Monday's usually their day off. But because, you know, because we had an opportunity to have those days off, we went today, and I think they get it. The good news around here is they listened, they got it. My sense would be tomorrow we'll come out, have a darn good day. That'd be and it wasn't, I don't want to probably just portray, I don't want to portray we had a bad day today. I just don't think it was where it was Friday, you know, and I have a high standard, you know, so. But they got it, they listened, they absorbed it, they got it. Got plenty, you know, we got plenty of time. Well,
What did Robert Floyd do early in camp that initially caught your eye, that this was a guy that could help you this year?
kind of a baller, you know, he's a ball guy, makes plays. Some guys, you know, some make plays, some don't, right? Robert's just a guy that, you know, it's not too big for him. It's just not too big for him. And, you know, there's a number of guys that are like that I've been around. It's not too big for him. And other guys, sometimes it can get a little big for them. They have to grow into it. That's the biggest thing.
Was he a guy that takes instruction really easily, kind of like a sponge in terms of meeting rooms, what he was being told on the practice field?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a ball guy. I think he likes football. And I think it comes that, you know, ball comes to him. You know, we've got other guys like that. I mean, Henry's a young guy like that. Jack Howell's a young guy like that. They're kind of ball guys, you know. It's fun to be around, watch those guys grow and develop. So, you know, good for us. We got some good young talent. You know, we got some guys on the D-line that are good young talent. James Mitchell. There's some good young players. We got some good young players on our roster, both sides of the ball, that I'm enjoying watching them come together and develop. But they're young. You know, they're young. They haven't been through it. I mean, look at a guy like Henry, just for an example. You know, he played 4 games last year. I mean, he's really just a true freshman. You know, he played 4 games. I don't even know if he played in all 4. Might have. I don't even remember. But, I mean, you know, it's like, to me, he's a true freshman, like, right now, you know. So, you know, we got a bunch of those young, that class is a good class, but it's young. So, interesting. I think they'll, like Sanjay. Sanjay's got a bunch of ability. You know, we just got to get him more consistent. But that's just youth. But we've got some good young players that I think, you know, you mentioned Robert Floyd, Jack Howell, Langston Williams. I mean, these are talented guys now. Really, really talented. Chase Wilson and Sanjay and Bam. I mean, and one of the best of all of them is Aaron Moore. He's not even back yet from his injury. You know, I don't know if he'll make it back this year or not, but he's a hell of a player. I mean, that class has got some guys, you know. And we got some other young guys on offense that are just coming along, you know, really well. You know, we moved Mike Schiffoni over to the offensive line. He's outstanding. He's going to be an outstanding player. Ty Marks is really coming on. George Mickey Hahn's going to be a hell of a player. Tanner Arkin's going to be a hell of a tight end. I mean, you know, we got some of these young walk-on receivers that we think are going to be really good players. I mean, we've got some young talent here that I'm really excited about. Yep.
Anything else? Nope, we're good.
All right, guys.
Thanks, Steve.